Check it out. This video is about a guest who appeared on a recent episode of the Whatever podcast. You may have also seen her on an episode of the Fresh and Fit podcast, and she is somewhat of a too frequent guest on the streamer Destiny. Some people call her the Walmart Mia Khalifa, others call her the fake Mia Khalifa, or as what her parents may call her, their worst nightmare. And as with any nightmare, there's going to be a sequence of events. I'm about to show you the first clip where she states 100 million is her price. Let's roll the clip.
Yeah, I mean, I was already making a decent salary just off TikTok sponsorships, but OnlyFans is an insane amount of money.
So you would still do OnlyFans because of the money. What I'm saying is that like you got Giselle Munchin type money, you'd still want to do OnlyFans?
Not necessarily. Like, I don't think I could be bought. Like, for instance, like if someone offered me like 100 mil for my virginity, I wouldn't do it.
Right. No,
so money isn't the incentive.
Yeah,
for me.
I would probably do it for 100 mil. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, can I ask the guys a question? Like,
choose a different
I mean, I know
occupation if
you
they
guys.
offered more money
You
than
got
OnlyFans.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
No. What I'm saying is that you called it a career path. Does that make sense? Like being in construction is a career path. Laying
It's part
bricks
of my
is not a
overall
career path.
of like content creation.
Right. Well, the overall, but we're not worried about the TikTok part, right? The guy you're going to marry is not super worried about the TikTok part. It's this one part that they're going to have a little.
She states in the video that 100 million is not the price for her, yet if you go to her OnlyFans, the only thing you need to have access is $10 a month. That's right. I don't know if she's a math major or not, but it seems $10 is a far lower amount than 100 mil. So I'm calling cap to her OnlyFans. She claims she doesn't post any crazy pictures and says most of the action is in the DMs, right? The messaging part of OnlyFans. And she says, oh, people pay her, so she debates back to them. You sure debating's the only thing you're doing? It seems like you're assisting in other things, because how do you keep people coming back? You probably are sending some lewd messages, some crazy messages, because everybody knows in this type of work, whether it's online like OnlyFans or offline, let's say you work at a strip club, you need repeat customers. That's sales 101. It's very hard, to obtain new customers, but it's much easier to sell to existing customers. So she is probably right that she does not post much in her OnlyFans, but once you pay for that monthly subscription, you probably need to pay extra for her to DM you back and forth. And is it really debating? I highly doubt it. Maybe initially it's debating, but it's like that movie, right? You hate the person so much, you end up loving them. What is it called? Stockholm Syndrome? Yeah, she's probably sending nasty messages, maybe not even her, maybe a couple of assistants, a couple of bots to send people messages every single day, that back and forth. And maybe what I'm betting, she's probably doing custom services. Now, I'm not going to try to speculate what she's doing in those custom services, but everybody knows if you're asking someone to do a custom service, you're going to pay a custom price, which is going to be a lot higher than the average service. Now, if you've seen this episode throughout the podcast, she was speaking a lot of nonsense. That's because if you see her glasses, the frame is there, but you don't see any lenses. That's why she couldn't see other people's viewpoints. Plus, throughout the podcast, she explains that her background, she comes from a Muslim family. And you may be surprised, how's that possible that somebody from that background would look and act like this? Well, I'm not surprised. You see, they're not necessarily a monolithic group. You see some pretty big partiers, big drinkers in the Muslim community, except the difference is they're going to be low-key about it. I remembered I had a house and I was trying to rent it out to a group of people, and when they said, oh, we're Muslim students at this university, I was excited because I was thinking, okay, maybe they're Muslim, they're going to take care of the house, they're going to have respect, I'm going to get my money on time, and the house was not going to get wrecked. Lo and behold, I found out they were having crazy parties. They were trashing the place. The ragers were raging all the way up, and it was crazy, like bottles everywhere, drinking everywhere. And I was so surprised until I started to find out. It was like the Muslim group that was renting my place at the time, they all enjoyed partying, they all enjoyed drinking, and their thing was, even though they were Muslim, let's say because their parents were Muslim, they had some kind of an agreement saying, because you drink and party, I drink and party, we're not going to snitch on each other, right? So they did their thing of drinking, they did their thing of partying, except they were low-key about it. Obviously, they wouldn't advertise it to the world. They just did what they wanted to do, but they made sure, or at least they tried to make sure, no one else relevant would find out about it. And you can say podcasts like this are becoming like the new online strip club, because obviously with each guest, right, the milkshake would bring the boys to the yard. They want the big tippers, right? They want the people who are throwing the big tips digitally, because as the host, his name is Brian, would say, right? Brian would essentially, this guy, right, would say that his vids are constantly getting demonetized, right? So he can't make any ad money. The only thing he's really got is donations, right? Because I guarantee you, flying guests like this or this person, this is going to cost a little bit of money. So he really has to rely on heavy donations. And like any strip club, what do you rely on? The regulars, right? That's why some strip clubs, they may have a schedule of certain ladies that may come on. Let's say this person was named Cassandra and she attracts a certain set of customers. That's why they give the schedule of the particular lady or particular stripper, so that way the customers can follow wherever that particular stripper would go and bring in business, right? In any business you care or you really want to cater to your 5%, 10%, your core audience that's really going to go gun-ho for you. Pause. So that's why this guy, right, Brian, he really cares about the tips, because the demonetized videos is hurting him. So he needs the super chats, the donations, or some other means to keep the brand alive. Mostly, the number one issue with the podcast is the main host, Brian, he can't control his own show, right? The only solution is he's got to hire somebody who's willing to be the bad guy or the bad person and really to keep the show going, because here's one example we see of Brian losing control of his own show. Check it out.
I think you're really intelligent, by the way. But can we talk about something else, bro? We've been on this for like 20 minutes straight.
I think we heard every third word you said.
Can we talk about something else? Because we've been on this for 20 minutes straight. Did you hear that one, Michael?
Okay, here we're gonna do. We're gonna shout out everyone on Twitch. Eric, could you pull up the Twitch? Jeremy, we'll get to that in a sec. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys.
Now, I ain't really going to say much because the clip pretty much speaks for itself. The main problem is because Brian is not setting the tone of the show, other people in the show are going to try to establish some sort of control. It's like in any situation, when there's a power vacuum, somebody's going to try to step in and maintain the power, right? If nobody else is maintaining frame, somebody else is going to maintain frame. I don't know if it's the laws of nature, but you see it a lot many times, not in this podcast, but in real life situations. So we're going to see this is going to be the start, or this is going to be a continuation of behavior like this in the future. Mark my words. Now, we are seeing that, or we are hearing that Brian, he's doing this podcast and he's sourcing a lot of these people from the school UC Santa Barbara, right? Or is it a University of California, Santa Barbara, which tells me this is probably one of the trashiest schools out there. Let's be honest. Maybe the school itself is terrific, but they've got a component of trashy looking people. Like, I'll be honest, bro, it's like at this point, it's like, this is what you are producing from this school. If that's the case, I gotta say, you might need to reevaluate what the school's about. Maybe try to change the podcast from whatever podcast to this is why you shouldn't go to UC Santa Barbara. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.